Hello, everybody out there in Rumble, X, and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego. And let's continue to talk about And Just Like Crap. Season 3, Episode 5. Oh, my God. Yes. Season 3, Episode 5. The name of this episode is called The Dogs Wouldn't Stop Whining. That is the name of the episode. The Dogs Wouldn't Stop Whining. That is the official name of this episode. The Dogs Wouldn't Stop Whining. Okay? Because that's exactly what the show is, dude. It's about a bunch of dogs. You think I'm kidding, but I'm not. And deep down inside, you know it's true. Okay? All right. However, that's not what it says on IMDb. That's just what I'm calling it. The name of this episode on IMDb is Under the Table, whatever the hell that means. Under the table. I don't get the metaphor, but yeah, that's the name of this episode. The Dogs Wouldn't Stop Whining. All right, so real quickly here, let me knock this out. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Here, okay, that right there. Okay, that's my X, where I post these videos on X right there, Elon Musk's style, and then that right there, that is Rumble. Okay, where I also post these videos on Rumble. All right, and I have to because YouTube, they don't like people of my persuasion. Okay, that's true. And how is it that just being centered is somehow far right? It's ridiculous. I'm definitely not far right. Okay, there's a lot of things in the right that I don't agree with. All right, but I'm definitely not politically aligned with the producers of this show. That's for sure. Okay, definitely not the actors, the producers, the writers, none of that stuff. I'm not in line with them politically at all. And I don't want to be, okay? You know why? Because I'm a real man. Okay, I'm just an average guy. Telling you ladies, if you're watching this video, and I hope you are, I'm at almost 1,000 subscribers. Oh my God, almost 1,000. I mean, I know that's no big deal to you, okay? But to me, that's a big deal, okay? I do this in my spare time. That's why I don't do videos every day. I do this for fun. Just something I like to do. It's like a hobby of mine, okay? Just my way of getting my voice out there, okay? Contributing to society, doing my little part, okay? I was a fan of Sex and the City, okay? The show was not realistic at all, but I know damn well I couldn't tell any women that back in the day because they would just jump on me, okay? You just don't like women. You just don't understand women. No. I understand men. I don't need to understand women. I understand men. Okay, and there's no men on the Sex and the City. There's no men on Sex and the City. Just like there's no real men on this show. Okay, the writers don't know what a real man is. They don't know how to write one. They don't know how to portray one. Okay, and the actors they have pretending to be men on the show, I mean, they're getting paid to act the way they're told to act. To say the things they're told to say. Whatever's in the script, say that. Okay, they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to get fired. They don't want to get recast. Okay, this is just a stepping stone to something else, and hopefully they'll get their own TV show or they'll star in a big budget movie, which will make a lot of money, and then they can become the lead in another big budget movie. That's all they're doing here. It's a bunch of hopeful actors, okay, guys that are trying to, get work in a very, very competitive Hollywood right now because there's no jobs right now in Hollywood. Because they've lost so much money because of their politics has turned off the audience so much that nobody's watching their programming. Okay, people are just changing the channel. Nobody's watching it. Okay, the viewership for this show is nowhere near what the viewership was for Sex and the City, despite the fact that it's on the same channel. This is HBO Max. Okay, Sex and the City, that had huge numbers back in the day. People were signing up for HBO just so they could watch Sex and the City. Nothing else, just to watch Sex and the City. Okay. And guys were signing up to watch Sopranos, but women were signing up to watch Sex and the City. Not the case now. HBO Max doesn't have anywhere near the numbers that old school HBO used to have back in the day. Okay, Netflix is still the king, and after that is like Amazon. So they don't have anywhere near the numbers that they used to have. Okay, so this show is not saving HBO Max at all. Okay, people are just hate watching it. Okay, and they're pirating it. Okay, so they don't have to give HBO Max money. They don't have to give Warner Brothers money for this show. That's how bad it is. So many women I know in my personal life that lived by Sex and the City, okay, will not watch this show. They will not, which is surprising to me, okay, because I remember when I was a kid, I watched Knight Rider. I guess I'm old, okay, but in the 80s there was a Knight Rider show. Like it was David Hasselhoff and a talking car, and that car was the coolest thing in the world. Oh my God, I used to watch every episode. I think it came on Friday nights, and every Friday night I was watching it. Okay, little boy me, little Diego was watching Knight Rider, and I loved it. I wish I had a car like that, whatever. Okay, and it was a hit show, and I loved it, whatever. And then in 2000, I want to say 2009 or 2010. They brought it back. They brought back a new Knight Rider show. And they even had David Hasselhoff came back for the pilot episode. Okay, so this was a direct continuation of the early 1980s Knight Rider. Okay, and it was about his son. He had a son that we didn't know about, who's the new Knight Rider. And the car, Kit, was voiced now by Val Kilmer. Okay, and so so I was like, oh my God, it's exciting. I was excited about this. Oh my God, they brought back Knight Rider. Yeah, And I watched it, and I thought the show was actually pretty good, but it only lasted one season. It only lasted one season because it didn't have the viewership. It just did not have enough people watching the show to justify a second season. Now, how is that possible? How is it possible that Knight Rider, the original Knight Rider, lasted for 5 seasons, but the reboot only lasted for 1? Why is that possible? Because of quality. Because of quality. People want to see the same. They want to feel the same thing they felt back in the day. Okay, and this show's not giving that. Okay, this is they're trying to do some sort of half measure, give you the sex and the nudity, but with like Black History Month mixed in there and pride parades, and this is just not what people want. Okay, nothing against the LGBT community, nothing against Black Pride, nothing at all against that. Those are all wonderful things. Okay, they're great. Okay, I'm not even white myself. Okay, I'm Mexican in case you didn't know. All right. No, I was born in Chicago. Okay. ICE ain't looking for me. All right. My parents are American too. Thank you very much. Okay. But I am Mexican. Okay. And even I see this, and I'm not represented on this show. What the hell? How do they represent me? They're representing my race. Well, what with Shay, some transgendered thing? She was supposed to represent my people. Are you out of your friggin' mind? And now they got a namesake. They got my namesake on this show, who clearly is gay. And I was calling that out since he first was introduced. The first time I saw him in his ballet tights, with his camel toe and all that, and butt ugly. Lily was she was creaming herself all over him. I knew this guy is gonna be gay. He's gonna be gay. He's gonna be gay. And sure enough, guess what? He's gay. Okay, he swings both ways. Honestly, okay, he likes men and boys. All right. So of course Lily's in love with him. Of course she is. All right. So all that's going on, and it's just like if you don't bring back quality, if you don't bring back the stuff that people like, people aren't going to watch it. And I know so many women that loved Sex and the City, that lived for Sex and the City, that will not touch this show. They won't even sit through a whole episode. I asked them, hey, so what'd you think about the latest episode of And Just Like Crap? And they're like, is that show back on the air? Like, what the hell? I thought that show was over, like, last season. I was like, no, it came back. You didn't know that? Like, they're already on episode 5 of the 3rd season. I didn't know about it. I don't really care for it. I was like, oh my God! Like, don't you remember, like, 20-something years ago, when that's all you would talk to me about was friggin' Sex in the City? Remember? And now you don't even give a shit? Well, it turns out, she ain't the only one. A lot of you are like that, too. Some of you would rather watch my review than actually watch the show, which, hey, that's fine. That's fine. I don't care. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. The more the merrier. Absolutely. That's great. I'm not trying to sell you nothing. I got no merch for you, nothing like that. Okay. I'm just a guy in my penthouse. Yes, this is a penthouse. All right. In my bedroom right now, because of my little boys on my computer. But okay. Just telling you what I think about this show. Okay. I'm a guy. I date. I'm dating right now. I'm single. Okay, I'm dating right now. And no, the women I'm dating do not know about this channel. You really think I'm going to tell them about this? This is between you and me, baby, all right? I'm dating right now, so I practice what I preach, okay? I'm telling you all the truth. This is what guys really think, okay? All right, yes, in some ways we're complicated, in some ways we're not. But one thing guys are not like, one thing straight guys are not like is we're not like women, okay? We don't care about how much money you have. We don't care about your jewelry or your clothes or your shoes or whether or not you have a driver, okay, or what fucking Ivy League university you graduated from, okay, or what kind of house you bought after you killed your rich husband. We don't care about that stuff. We don't care. That's not what makes you high value to us. Okay, that's what makes men high value to you. That's not what makes women high value to us. We look for totally different things. Okay? And that's the honest to God truth. All right, but this show doesn't get that. This show's trying to make the women into men. Oh, look at her nails. Look at that dress. Oh my God, that's how she's high value. Look at her house. Oh, look at that. She got invited to the Met. Oh, see? You keep doing things like that and men are just going to jump on. No, we're not. We don't give a crap. Okay, we will date a fucking chick that works at goddamn Taco Bell if she's fucking hot, got big tits, beautiful face, okay, and is nice to us, and of legal age, of course, and is nice to us. Okay, we will take her over any fucking woman on this goddamn show, and that's the truth. That's the honest God truth. I know you don't want to hear that because women are not that way at all, and I know this. Women are not that way at all, okay, but men are. Men are. Okay, this is a straight guy telling you the truth. This is all crap. Okay, women do all this shit for each other. Okay, the shoes, the nails, okay, the scarves, okay, all that shit is women trying to impress other women. It has nothing to do with what men want at all. It's like bodybuilders. Okay, ladies, you all know what bodybuilders are. Okay, those are guys that just take all these steroids, they lift their weights like crazy, they try to get their abs, their traps, okay, their biceps, triceps, the calves, hamstrings, quadriceps, okay, forearms, all that stuff, the lats, okay, all that stuff, okay? The bigger the better, okay? The more shredded, and then the bigger the muscles, boom, and who compliments men like that? Other men. And who wants to watch guys like that compete with each other on stage? Other men, okay? Other men, okay? Because the bigger you are, the more respect you get from men, okay? From other guys, okay? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I'm not talking gay guys, I'm just talking guys, okay? Because that's ultra masculine right there, okay? They're competing with each other for who's the most masculine guy. Okay, but you know who doesn't give a shit? Women. They don't care about a guy. Men with super big muscles are disgusting to women. To most women. That's disgusting. That is way too big, okay? If you can see all the every single muscle fiber on a guy's ass, that is just gross, okay? It's gross, all right, for women. For guys, it's like, holy shit, dude, you got ripped glutes. What's the secret, man? Because I'm trying to come up, that's how guys are. But women can be like, oh, God, that's gross. This is, ugh. You see what I mean? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, and that's the same what the show is. All right, this is women getting off on each other, trying to outdo other women. Okay, and the men are just like, oh, yes. Can you imagine that, ladies? Can you imagine a show about bodybuilders? Okay, where the women are go like, no, you know what? Your glutes aren't as good as his glutes. And he's got better forearms, so I'm going to cheat on you with him because of his forearms, okay? Because his brachelius is just sticking out a hell of a lot more than yours. And every woman was like that. Can you imagine that shit? Okay, that's exactly what it's like for me to watch this shit. Okay, we don't give a shit about your Prada. We don't give a shit about your shoes, your Manolo Blahniks, okay? Your Birkin bags, okay? We don't fucking care. The women care. Because that's what they consider high value. Anyway, all right, let's get into this freaking episode here. All right. Okay, so where do we leave off last time? Okay, I just had to get that out. Where did we leave off last time? Okay. Oh, yes, the airplane ride. Okay, so we got Lisa Todd Wexley. Okay, it was a bitch. She's pretty, but she's a bitch. Okay, Nicole Ari Parker plays her. Anyway, she's a black woman. She's getting home from Atlanta. She's on a business trip with her editor, who's a super good-looking 6'6" NBA player-looking guy, played by Makad Brooks. His name on the show is Marion Odin. Yes, he's got a woman's name. Marion, and that causes him self-confidence. It ruins his self-confidence because it's a girl's name. So he's always afraid people are making fun of him because he's a girl, because that's a girl's name he has. He has enough jewelry to be a girl. He's got earrings, double piercing. He wears these like pink shades. He's got bling upon bling around his neck. He's got bracelets on, expensive watches. He's got rings in all of his fucking fingers. This fucker's a bitch. Okay, he's just a 6'6" bitch. Okay, he's also a male feminist. Of course he is. He spent a good 5 minutes telling everybody on the plane what a boss bitch his boss Lisa is. She is a mother of 3. She is a wife. She's beautiful. She's smart. She's more successful than me. In fact, she is my supervisor. I am not her supervisor. She's better looking than me. She's got a bigger cock than me. She makes more money than me. Her shoes are a lot better than mine. Her jewelry is also better than mine. Everybody pay attention. I'm talking. Okay. Her jewelry is better than mine. Okay. Everything about her is better than mine. Okay. You see what I mean? Okay. And every character gets this treatment on the show. That's how you know they're a cool character, because the other characters tell you they are. Yeah. They don't care what you think of the characters. It's what the other characters think about the characters. That's the important thing. All right. Anyway, so that happens here. She shows up, okay? And now she's going to go to Governor's Island because her family's there, and so are the Goldenblatts. That's Charlotte and Harry and her family. They're all vacationing together, camping together. They call it glamping. I don't know what the hell glamping is, but they're on Governor's Island glamping, and nobody really gives a crap. All right. Next scene here, Lisa joins the family at Charlotte at Governor's Island. So Lisa shows up there. Herbert, her closeted homosexual soy boy bald husband, okay, who's running for comptroller for the city of New York. Yeah, right. He's a pudgy guy, completely out of shape. He's a high voice. Okay, he's pussy whipped by his wife. He does whatever she fucking tells him to do. He has no masculinity at all. He does not run his own household. Yes, his wife works, but he's the one that actually pays all the bills in their multi-million-dollar apartment. He pays for the private schools that all three of their children go to. He pays for her wardrobe, even despite the fact that she dresses like a fucking kaleidoscope from the early 1990s. Okay, he pays for fucking everything, and in exchange for that, she treats him like total fucking shit. She won't even let him fucking sleep. She emasculates him, puts him down, tells him what to do, bosses him around, orders him around. Okay, gives him absolutely no compliments at all. Never says that he's doing a good job or I love you and I'm happy that you're my husband. Never, none of that shit. In fact, he's the one that does that for her. She never does anything like that for him. Okay, anyway, so she joins them there. Okay, at Governor's Island. Okay, he's upset that she's late. Okay, well, her plane got delayed. That's why she's late. Okay, and Lily says she feels like a hostage. Okay, Lily is the Asian adopted daughter of Charlotte and Harry. I don't know the actress' name, but I know in real life she's 29 years old, but she's playing an 18-year-old on the show. How do you figure that? I thought it was black don't crack. I didn't know it was Asian. Anyway, so she's a 29-year-old playing, pretending to be an 18-year-old. Lily, she's the one that's in love with the gay guy. So she feels like a hostage. She did not want to go this weekend, glamping this weekend with her family. She wanted to spend the weekend with her boyfriend, but because she can't, now her boyfriend's going to spend the weekend with his boyfriend instead. I'm not making that up. That's actually a plot point on the show. I am not making that up. You thought I was being homophobic there? No, I'm not. This is what is actually happening on the damn show. Okay, this fucking soy boy queer kid, ballet dancer kid, okay, who is Lily's boyfriend, also has a boyfriend named Eric. Okay, and the reason she doesn't want to be on the island is because if this was her weekend, she splits the weekends. Every other weekend she gets with Diego. Yes, somebody on this fucking show watched one of my videos and decided to name this character after me. That's what I heard. Is it true or not? I don't fucking know, but somebody told me this. Somebody who works in Hollywood told me this, all right? So anyway, so he's going to spend it with his boyfriend getting fucked up the ass, okay, because that's better for him, okay, and that's not good for Lily, because Lily wanted to be the one to fuck her boyfriend in the ass this weekend. Now she can't, because she's stuck on this island. All right, so that's going on here. And Harry the husband, okay, he's another limp dick soy boy beta male, but we've always known that. He's been that way ever since Sex and the City, okay? He pays for everything too, and of course Charlotte does not respect him. She demeans him, emasculates him, the usual shit, gives him ultimatums. She stays out late at night with her friends from work, they go to clubs, they do cocaine together, she gets fucked up, she makes out with other guys, all that kind of shit. She gets home like at 8:30 in the morning, and nobody in that household says anything to her about it. In fact, if they even raise their voice to her, she will shut them down and tell them how she's the victim and she's also the boss and they need to shut the fuck up and do what she says. That's who she is, okay? So Harry's there. He's upset about all the mosquitoes that are biting him. Okay, he's not upset that he got diagnosed with prostate cancer, though. However, his wife Charlotte is upset about the prostate cancer diagnosis, and she's acting like she's the one that fucking got diagnosed by it. She's the one flipping out. She's the one like, oh my god, yelling at people and stuff because she's stressed out about it, worried about it. When people ask what's wrong, she says, oh, nothing's wrong. She's the one that's acting like she's the one that got diagnosed with it. Okay? Whereas Harry's cool. He's just like, oh, no, I'm just going to watch the Mets game on my cell phone. No big deal. What about the damn mosquitoes? He's more concerned about the mosquitoes than his cancer diagnosis. All right, so that's going on here. Herbert is upset that Lisa forgot to bring the chocolate for the s'mores. Well, she was at a fucking airport. How's she going to fucking get chocolate? I mean, I know they sell chocolate there, but whatever. Okay, he's upset with her for that. And she, of course, decides to give him a piece of his mind. And he says, like, you were supposed to get the chocolate. I told you on the phone before you got on the plane, you're supposed to get the chocolate. She's like, well, but did you though? Okay, this is the same shit that went on earlier where she told him, I told you we were going to Governor's Island this weekend. We're going to go glamping with the Goldenblatts, and I told you it was going to happen. And then he's like, but did you tell me though? And so now she's just doing it to him. This is a load of crap. Anyway, so she goes, This goes on for for about half an hour for the stupid chocolate, right? Because this is the way, I mean, he's fucking stressed. His pussy is all fucking aggravated. His pussy's all aggravated over some fucking chocolate she forgot to bring. Okay, Charlotte goes off like, hey, they've got a store here, okay? You can just go to the damn store and get some chocolate, okay? It's not like it's cancer or anything. Like that. Of course, nobody picks up on that except for Harry. Obviously, Harry knows he's got prostate cancer, but nobody else knows. His kids don't know. Definitely nobody on Lisa's family knows. They're keeping it a secret, all right? So, of course, Charlotte just let the cat out of the bag. All right, so that's going on here. Now, the next scene, Carrie texts Samantha. Yes, Samantha makes a non-cameo, okay? Okay, she's texting Samantha on her cell phone. She's asking Samantha about Duncan Reeves. Of course, Samantha fucked him. Okay, she's fucked everybody. Okay, which is not realistic, by the way. Samantha's nowhere near 10, not even back in the day. Okay, all right, I know you all worship her and stuff. Like, she's the sex goddess. She's not. She was an average girl with a big fucking mouth. That's all Samantha was. I know that breaks your heart, ladies. I know it hurts your feelings. Okay, but Samantha was mid with a fucking big mouth. That's all she was, and I don't mean that in a good way. Okay, that's all she was. All right. I'm not saying I don't like Samantha. She was very entertaining. I love Kim Cattrall's portrayal of her. Okay, she was definitely the id of the group. Okay, all four women were basically four different aspects of Candace Bushell's personality, and Samantha clearly was the horny one, obsessed with sex. Okay, I get it, and that was entertaining. I get it. Okay. But, okay, realistically, okay, she was mid at best. And that's the truth. I'm telling you the truth. She don't look like she did in Mannequin. She don't look like she did in Big Trouble in Little China. She don't look like she did in Police Academy 1. She just doesn't. She got old. Sorry, it happens to the best of us. Okay? So that's going on here anyway. So she's texting Samantha on the phone. She says that, Samantha says that Duncan is fun. Okay, and then we see Miranda getting ready for a date. Miranda is wearing a barrel of toxic waste. That's what she looks like, an orange barrel of toxic waste. That's the best way to describe the outfit she's wearing. Okay, and it's also apt that because she is toxic. She is a toxic waste. She's a toxic waste of this show. All right, Miranda. If they should have kicked someone out, it should have been Miranda. All right, not Samantha. All right, so that's going on here. Okay, she's dressed like a barrel of toxic waste, and I understand the irony here. Okay, and she tells Carrie she's going to spend the night at Joy's because Miranda is Carrie's roommate right now. She's staying there. Why is she staying there? Because in the last video I did, we got to meet this guy. I don't remember his name. I might have written it down somewhere. I'm not really sure. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't know. But yeah, there was this guy we met. Okay, I'll get you later. Who opened the door across the hallway from her Airbnb, completely naked, with his schlongzola swinging past his knees and a cleaver in his hand, going, "If you I will cut your pieces." Just like that. It's the best thing I've ever seen in the show. I thought the show was going downhill until I saw that scene. Okay, so because of this, Miranda decided to leave her boss bitchiness there, and she ran to Carrie's house, okay, with her tail between her legs and begging Carrie to let her stay there. Okay, so that's what's going on here. So she's living with Carrie right now. Remember last season when she was living with Naya? Why don't this bitch just get a fucking apartment? It's not difficult. It's really not difficult at all. I mean, she bought a house by herself. I'm sure she can find a fucking apartment, a condo, something. Okay? She makes plenty of fucking money. All right? Money's not a problem. All right, it's a stupid plot inconvenience. Okay, this woman has more than enough money. She has more than enough brains to be able to get her own fucking place. Okay, she don't need to be living in a fucking Airbnb. She don't need to be roommating with her black college professor. Okay, who's no longer on the show. She don't need to be rooming with Carrie either. This is a load of fucking shit. Anyway, they're just trying to get you to feel sorry for her because she's such a fucking cunt. All right, that's the truth. Anyway, so that's going on here. She's got a date with Joy tonight. She's gonna spend the night with at Joy's apartment or whatever. Now, Joy is the other butt ugly lesbian that looks exactly like Miranda, only she's British and got longer hair. Otherwise, they're clones. All right. Okay, so they started dating. Okay, so now the next scene. She says, "What should I wear with this? That's nice." Well, Carrie says, "Oh, I got this scarf here. Hey, here's this scarf." Whatever. It's an ugly fucking scarf. It looks like shit, but she's like, oh, she's like, it goes great with your outfit. Great with the barrel of toxic waste that she's wearing. So she borrows Carrie's scarf and wears it, all right? Okay. Later on at Joy's apartment, we see them trying to make out. It's like two dogs on a date falling in love. I couldn't help but thinking of Lady and the Tramp. The only problem was I couldn't tell which one of these was the lady, because neither one of them, they both look like the fucking Tramp. Okay, honestly, they do. Okay, neither one of them looks feminine. So what the fuck? Which one is the lady here? Because they're both dogs. Okay, I wanted to come out there and start singing fucking Buena Noche. Okay, like the Italian, with the xylophone and shit. When I saw them making out, that's what it felt like. It felt like he was fucking, like one of them was fucking pushing a goddamn meatball on the spaghetti. Okay, with their nose. That's what it looked like to me. Okay, there's just two dogs making out, man. It's fucking gross, dude. And on top of that, if that wasn't bad enough, there was also two actual canines in this scene as well. Okay, and Joy had to pick them up because it was a doggy foursome, and now it's going to be a doggy twosome. So she picks up her canines. Yes, the dog actually has dogs as pets and puts them out in the hallway. Okay, and of course, they have gay names and shit. I think one of them's named Socrates, and the other dog is named Sappho. Of course, you have to have taken a gender studies course in college to understand the irony of those names. Okay, so that's going on. Okay, but the dogs are whiny. Okay, they're greyhound dogs. Okay, and so are the dogs in the closet. Oh, I know it's confusing. It's confusing. All right, the canines. Okay, the dogs in the hallway are whining. Okay, and that's pissing off the dogs in the bedroom. All right. Okay, so because of the whining noise, they can't have sex. Okay, I guess the idea of putting them outside with a leash never occurred to the two-legged dogs. Okay, so because of this, Miranda gets cock blocked. Okay, and they can't get it on because of the whining. Okay, and then George's like, why didn't I get cats? Oh, bon, bon. Yeah, like that would be a real fucking problem in real life. All right, the next scene here is Carrie is tossing and turning, okay, while her pussy is on her mind. I'm not making that up. She has pussy on her mind. Her fucking cat is sleeping on her head while Carrie's trying to sleep. Okay, you get it? You get the metaphor? It kind of fucking hits you in the face, doesn't it? All right. Okay. Anyway, she puts the cat in the hallway, and when she does that, what does she see? She gets a big eye full of fucking naked Miranda's 63-year-old body. Okay, Miranda's in a fucking daze. Now, why the fuck would Miranda walk around Carrie's place buck naked? It makes no fucking sense. She's a goddamn guest, for Christ's sake. Okay, this is stupid. The only reason they did that is because fucking Cynthia Nixon thinks that she's fucking hot. Well, maybe around butt ugly lesbians, you're hot, okay? For a straight guy like me, you're about as good looking as my fucking asshole, okay? And I really don't need to fucking see Cynthia Nixon's fucking disgusting piece of shit body. I saw enough of that crap on Sex and the City. I don't fucking need to see any more. This bitch tried to run for fucking governor of New York. You ever wonder why she lost that election, okay? Because of shit like this. Okay, here's this ugly, disgusting piece of shit woman thing who thinks that she's fucking hot. Every fucking girl on this goddamn show thinks she's a fucking 10. Okay, when in real life, you're a fucking 2 at best. At best. Truth hurts. Anyway. So that's going on here. She tells, of course, Carrie's shocked. Oh my God, you're naked. Like, it's supposed to be your best fucking friend. Like, you've never seen her naked before. This is stupid. All of a sudden, like, Carrie's all of a sudden fucking homophobic now. It makes no sense. Anyway, so of course, Miranda's not embarrassed. She just stands there fucking with her butt ugly, saggy fucking body, out of shape body, going, you don't understand. Joy's dogs were whining. I couldn't spend the night there. Whatever the fuck, her mom bod. Yes, mom bod is a thing. Okay, and she's a grandma bod. That's exactly what Cynthia Nixon is. Okay, a grandmom bod. All right. Anyway. She's a fucking guest in the house. Like, what the fuck, dude? Okay, she says the dogs wouldn't stop whining, which, of course, is where you got the name of this episode from. The dogs wouldn't stop whining, okay? It should be the name of every fucking episode. It should be the name of the fucking show, to be honest with you, okay? Not just this episode, okay? But, a straight guy had nothing to do with the show. That's why it's not. All right, moving right along. Okay, Carrie is shocked that she actually bumps into the door that she's standing right next to in order to get back into her bedroom, okay? So that's going on here, okay? So Carrie wears this like $2,000 nightgown to look at her table. She comes down the stairs wearing a fucking her nightie is like around $2,000, where it's really expensive. It looks really expensive, okay? You know, and now she's got ugly runners on the floor. So now she's actually giving a shit about the noise she's making and keeping fucking Duncan awake at during the day. Okay, so she's got runners now, okay, in her house. So she makes sure to step on them, okay? Because she ain't gonna take off her shoes. She's gonna fucking, you know, wear her shoes, okay? So she looks at her big table, the one that Aiden got her, okay? You know, and then she goes over into the kitchen, okay? And in there, okay, and she starts to she complains to Miranda, okay, for her nakedness the night before, you know, and then she complains to Miranda for eating her last yogurt, and then she complains to Miranda for eating her last organic banana, okay, and then she complains to Miranda for being naked, and then she complains to Miranda for fucking staying with her in the fucking house, and then she complains to Miranda for not fucking finding her own fucking apartment, and then she complains to Miranda. You get where this is going, right? All right. So that's going on here, you know, and then I kept wondering this whole time, why the fuck is Carrie's refrigerator like the size of a fucking TV set? It's like ridiculous. She's got this huge fucking house that she owns and got a tiny little refrigerator, okay? And that refrigerator looks like it was made in 1960. What the fuck, man? You know, a family cannot live off of a refrigerator that size. You know, anyway, I thought Carrie was rich. All right, so that's going on here. Okay, Carrie looks out her window. She sees Adam sitting out there outside with his little brother, Jamie, not working. So she's like, what the hell is it? Why is he not working? Like, I'm paying him, you know? And Miranda says, like, oh, well, I saw earlier Duncan, your downstairs neighbor, came out and yelled at them. So after he yelled at them, they stopped working, okay? You know, and so Carrie goes down there and tells them to continue working. Okay, like, what the fuck? I'm paying you to do the gardening here, okay? You know? Anyway, the next scene, okay, is at Governor's Island again. Okay, Charlotte's whole family, okay, is on their cell phone in a tent. Okay, so Charlotte walks in there. She has to unzip the tent to keep the bugs from getting in. And she sees her whole family. They're all on their cell phones. Okay, nobody's outside doing anything, all right? Well, none of them really wanted to be there. Okay, and Harry is flipping out about the mosquitoes again. He got bit like 4 or 5 times now. He's not flipping out about the prostate cancer. He's flipping out about all the mosquitoes. All right, so he tells her to zips up his hood jacket. Okay, he's wearing a jacket. He zips up the hood. Okay, and of course his daughters, Rock and Lily, Rock the communist, and Lily, they start making fun of him. They start telling him, "You look like Kenny from South Park." Look, Dad looks like Kenny from South Park. Hey, they killed Kenny. You know, if you watch South Park, you know. All right, so that's going on here. Of course, Charlotte has no sense of humor, okay, because in her mind, she's the one that got diagnosed with prostate cancer. So she's treating her illness, her diagnosis this way, okay? She can't settle down. She tells her daughters, "That's enough! Put your phones down!" You know, and she forgets the fact that, you know, a prostate cancer has a 98% survival rate, okay? Okay, and she says, like, "It's supposed to be quality family time right now." And Lisa's like, Dad doesn't want to be here, so why should I be here? I should be with Diego. He should be with me. Instead, he's getting fucked up the ass by his boyfriend, and that's not fair for me, because I wanted to peg him. I wanted to fuck him up the ass. That kind of thing, you know. And Charlotte tells Lily, well, then you can go, okay? You can go then. Go with your boyfriend, you know, and hang out with his boyfriend as well, okay? You can hang out with your boyfriend and his boyfriend, okay? But you can't get this Saturday back. And that's the whole extent of Charlotte putting her foot down. Charlotte puts her foot down when it comes down to Harry, okay? Harry never puts his foot down in front of Charlotte. Okay, Charlotte always makes demands. She gives him ultimatums. She tells him what to do. He cannot talk back to her. He cannot voice his own opinion. Nothing. She has to educate him on everything, despite the fact that he's the one that supports the whole fucking family. He's the one that's paying for this goddamn vacation. He's the one that pays for the taxes on the apartment that they live in. He's the one that pays for the private schools for the kids. He pays for fucking everything. He pays for Charlotte's wardrobe. Yet he has no fucking say. He has no authority on his own fucking family. Okay? So that's going on here. Okay, you know. Okay, he tells Charlotte, hey babe, chill, okay? Everything's okay. Just chill. And Charlotte says, like, but it's not okay. I'm gonna go for a walk. He's like, okay, sweetheart, precious, sugar bum, just make sure you zip the tent back up when you leave, okay? You know, and he's all zipped up, looking like Kenny from South Park, all right? You know, so that's going on here. So even when she's mad, okay, her kids don't respect her. So even when she's mad, her kids do not respect her at all. She never puts her foot down on her kid. Her kids put their foot down on her. They tell her what to do. Her children tell her what to do, and then she tells Harry what to do. That's how it works. That's the fucking Goldenblatt family right there, okay? Next scene, Lisa and Herb, okay, and we find out that Lisa and Herbert, they have one of their sons is gay, okay, because he's in love with the croque monsieur. It's even better than the one that we had at the chateau. Oh my God, I'm getting an erection just smelling it. Incredible. Yeah, that's their son. Okay, and you know, and by the way, croque monsieur is a fucking, it's a goddamn ham and cheese sandwich. That's all it fucking is. Anyway, so Lisa wants Herb to pose with his gay son for a picture. Okay, she wants to take a picture of them, right? Okay, so Herb, you know, he poses for it. You know, he tells, I'm not making this up. He looks at Lisa, and goes like, "You want me to pose for a picture? This is not regular guy stuff, sweetie. I only do regular guy stuff." Like that, all right? And Herb finds a selfie. He goes through Lisa's phone to look at the picture, and he finds a selfie of Lisa with Marion, her editor that she hired. Okay, the 6'6", hung to his shoe guy. All right, that went on the trip with her to Atlanta. They took a selfie on the airplane. So he looks at this guy. Now, he had no idea that he knew this guy was black. He had no idea what this guy looked like until now. So he asks Lisa, he goes, "Hey, you know, who's this guy?" And she's like, "That's my editor, Marion, I told you about." You know? He's like, "Well, you didn't tell me he looked like a Michael B. Handsome." You know, and now he's getting turned on. Okay? He's like, "Talk about getting your chocolate in Atlanta." You know? Is the selfie a work thing or something? Because she says, like, it's a work thing. "Oh, really? So the selfie's a work thing? Huh?" You know, that kind of, you know. And of course, he's insecure, okay? Even if this did not happen, Herbert is very insecure. So is Harry. They're both fucking insecure, bald-headed, limp dick, soy boys who were bossed around by their wives, emasculated by their wives, ordered around by their children, okay? Have absolutely no masculinity at fucking all, okay? This guy's insecure, but it doesn't fucking matter because he's always insecure. Herbert's insecure about every fucking goddamn thing, okay? He's insecure about his walk. He's insecure whether he's cool or not. Okay, he's insecure about whether or not he's going to make it as comptroller. Will I win the election? I'm afraid of doing this, sweetheart. He's insecure about being a fucking man. Okay, he's insecure about fucking everything. All right, realistically, okay, his wife would have cheated on him a long fucking time ago. A long fucking time ago. She would be having an affair right now with like a personal trainer or some shit. Okay, she'd still be married to this guy because he pays for everything. He pays for her to work on her fucking documentary that she's been working on for 9 fucking years on pioneering black lesbians, and she still ain't fucking done with it. Okay, he pays for everything in the house, so she has to hold on to him. Okay, but she would be getting her rocks off with men that she was actually attracted to. Okay, unfortunately, that does mean underage boys because we already know that she's attracted to minors. Okay, so you know, yes, okay, of course her husband, all the men on the show are insecure. All the men on the show are fucking closeted homosexuals. You know, and she says, like, "I took that picture to send to my other editor in Atlanta," you know, and he says, "Oh, so it's a threesome, huh?" You know, she's like, "Daddy is being silly." And he's like, "Mommy is being silly. Mommy's being silly out of town." Like that. Well, this pisses off Lisa. She just fucking gets up. She just gets the fuck up and walks away. Okay, she's all pissed off. Okay, and she goes over and she walks away from her little tent and shit. And she sees Charlotte by herself, leaning on a fence. So she goes up and starts up a conversation with Charlotte. Okay, and that's where we're gonna leave this off for now. Okay, all right. So I want to thank you all for watching this long. Okay, and I will finish this up in the next video. Thanks again. Okay, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.